You're watching Texas Silver. Welcome to the channel. Let's get into this. So I want to go over the presidential election real quick, my thoughts about it and all that. I didn't address this in any of my other videos. Obviously, you know who I voted for. So obviously I was excited and happy about it. But I do have my reservations. I do have my concerns. So obviously we need to pray for this man, pray for this country. And, he hadn't even made it into the actual White House yet. So, they've already tried to take him out a couple times. So let's pray that God watches over him and protects him and makes sure that he actually gets to the White House. So I know everyone's excited and thinking, Trump's going to come and he's going to fix everything. And he does have the House, as far as I know. He has the Senate. And obviously what's really important too is the Supreme Court. So, but when you go to school, you don't get your report card at the beginning of the year. You get it at the end of the year. So I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I hope that he does pretty much everything that he says that he wants to do. I think this country is definitely headed in the wrong direction. Hopefully he can steer us in a better path. Just know he is human. And, the only one that we can trust 100% is God. So, I'm going to see what he does. Hopefully he does, all these things that he's talking about. There are some things that he's talking about that are concerning, and I'm going to go ahead and address that. So in his first term, he wanted negative rates. Negative rates is bad for savers. It's just going to create easy money, and then we're going to be right back to where we were at with higher prices on everything, because lower interest rates mean we can afford to buy more crap, right? So it's just going to drive prices of housing, vehicles, all that stuff. It's going to create inflation. So, I don't know that zero rates or negative rates, which he wanted, are such a great thing. So I'm a little concerned about that. He wants a weaker dollar. We need a stronger dollar. All right. Well, it's no benefit to have a weaker dollar. So I'm worried about monetary policy with him. Obviously, anything's going to be better than the other choice. So don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing this man. I support him. I voted for this man. I'm just voicing my opinion. And obviously, if you have a difference of opinion, put it in the comments. We'll talk about it. But I'm just calling it how I see it. That's what I've always done on this channel. I've brought it to you straight, my opinion on stuff. And, I don't know everything, but I'm just, the stuff that I know and my experiences and stuff, that's where my opinions come from. So I don't try and be anything but myself on this channel. Y'all get the organic me. I'm not putting on an act of who I am or try to portray myself to be something, that I'm not. So in his first term, he printed more money or fiat than Obama and Biden's administrations combined. And I know you're like, oh, well, COVID. Okay, I get that. But still, if you think the printing press is just going to stop because Trump's in office, absolutely not. He's talking about tax cuts where it's like, okay, that's great. And will that stimulate the economy? Yes, probably. But it's also going to reduce the amount of taxes that we have coming in. So, at best, it might zero that out, but we're going to be bringing in less revenue. So the national debt is going to keep going up. And I'm not saying I'm not for tax cuts, but I'm just saying just because we have Trump now in the White House doesn't mean that immediately everything is fixed. He has a huge plate in front of him, and, hopefully they have a plan. I'm excited about some of the people that he's brought on board, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I'm not going to judge this man until I see what he actually does. At the end of his term, then I'll know. We'll know then. But I'm not going to sit here and just give him a pass I want to see what he does for the country and, see if he actually does everything he says that he wants to do. So in 2016, when he got elected, I kind of was like, everything's good. He's going to fix everything. And, at the time, I wasn't buying gold and silver. I was buying the most precious metal. I felt this right here, these tools, lead, copper. That's what I was buying. Well, once Obama was out of office, I was just like, I can relax. We got Trump. I don't need to do anything. Well, I ended up watching a video, and I don't even remember what the video was, but it was something to the effect of Trump isn't going to save you or something. So I watched that video, and then it started me down a rabbit hole, and that's why I eventually got into precious metals. I got into it in 2016, and I realized that there's a financial collapse that is coming. Is it in a week? Is it in a month? Is it a year, 5 years? We don't know. I think it's going to be sooner than later. But do not get complacent, because all he's going to do is hopefully buy us some more time. He's not going to be able to stop what's coming. It's mathematically impossible. They have to keep printing money. It's a debt-based system. They have to keep bringing money into the system to pay for the debt that already exists. So the debt-based system is the Federal Reserve brings fiat into the system, it gets lent out, and then that money, that fiat is supposed to be repaid along with interest. So they're constantly having to print more because there's never enough out there to pay the outstanding debts. I don't know if that made sense to y'all, but pretty much, long story short, they have to keep printing. So this is going to continue. The the deficit is going to continue to grow. The amount of fiat that we're having to pay to service the debt, it's going to keep rising. The interest, yes, the Federal Reserve just lowered interest rates again. We'll get into that in a second. But so I started buying precious metals because I realized that there was an issue in the financial system. So again, don't get complacent. Don't think, oh, now I'm good, I can go party. Trump's going to save us. Just now's the time to. Last time Trump was in office, all this stuff went on sale. Maybe you need to pick up more of this. Gold and silver had a pretty decent pullback the other day. I don't think it's going to last long. It's already started to come back. So hopefully you bought that dip. I didn't really have any extra fiat laying around, so I unfortunately wasn't able to take advantage of the dip, but hopefully you did. So just, again, don't get complacent. So that's part of the message in this. This is the time you have hopefully bought time to get your food in order, get your security in order, get your water in order, your first aid skills, all this stuff. Hopefully we've bought some more time now that Trump is going to be in office. Okay. The 10-year yield, even though the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates today by 25 basis points, the 10-year yield is still going up, which means loan rates are still going up. So, is the 10-year going to keep going? Who knows? So just because the Fed is lowering interest rates, the Fed is going to have to get in and buy these treasuries to get the rate to come down. So right now, bonds are being sold off. So they're going to have to get in there and buy that to get it down. So just because they lower the interest rate, like, they have to get in, someone has to buy these bonds to drive that down. So who knows? Who knows where this is going? The Federal Reserve is probably going to continue to cut rates. They've already stated that they want to cut rates. Obviously, they may have to reassess things because, now that Trump's in there, they have to see what his policies are going to be. So they may change things. But I think either way, they're still going to continue to cut rates. So that is going to add to inflation. It's going to devalue the dollar. And another reason why you should be holding gold and silver, real money. remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. It's just what I'm doing, my friends are doing. So do your due diligence and just make sure that this is right for you in your, your financial strategy for, whatever you're doing for retirement or, whatever you're trying to do. Just make sure it's right for you. Do the research. They're going to continue to print money. The Federal Reserve is going to continue to print money, which is going to cause inflation. So that's why you need to have these metals, because they are going to preserve your purchasing power when everyone's getting wiped out from this inflation. So just know, just because Trump is coming into office, inflation isn't all of a sudden going to stop. He is probably going to print a crap ton of money. I wouldn't be surprised if he outprints himself back from 2016. So just be careful and keep watching this stuff, keep monitoring stuff. So I'm still bullish for gold and silver. I think they're going to continue to go up. I think there are bigger forces that are going on that are moving these metals. So central bank buying and country buying. So just because Donald Trump now is going to be the president, I don't think these metals are going to continue to pull back because of that. There was probably some short sale covering that was going on, and there was probably some selling and some buying going on that moved the prices. So I think they're going to continue to keep going up from here. I know that the price to mine silver is approximately $25 an ounce, so I don't see silver really going much lower because the mining cost is so much now. So they're not going to lose money mining these metals. So if we see silver in the 20s, I would be very, very, very surprised. So we're probably near the bottom. If you want these metals, my advice is I'd go ahead and get it. I wouldn't wait for these metals to pull back anymore. We are starting to get into winter time. And so get all your winter stuff in line now. Fill up your propane tanks, your little ones and big ones for the house, your home heating oil, get that. Get wood. Have your smaller propane tanks for your heaters and stuff. Pardon me. Get those filled now. That way you're not, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, or maybe both years, but we had a pretty good winter storm that came through. And you had all these clowns that were in line freezing their butt off trying to get propane. And, some of these big propane centers were out of propane. So get it now. Get get your gas cans full, your diesel cans, just all your fuel, all your heating stuff. Get it in line now. That way, if y'all have some cold weather that comes through, you're not one of the clowns waiting in line. So get all that done now while it's available, while no one else is thinking about it. Get all that stuff done. So not a long video, but I wanted to touch base with y'all and just give my opinion of what's going on with the elections and Trump. Again, I am hopeful. I do support this man. I love this country. I hate to see the direction that it has gone and just how the American values and everything have been eroded. So hopefully, he can turn this around. So again, don't take this as I'm bashing on Trump. I hope that he is able to turn this around, and I support him 100%. So I guess we'll leave it at that. Again, pray for this country, pray for this president, and we'll see how stuff goes. So thanks for being here, for liking, sharing the video, subscribing, all that stuff. And we're going to leave it there. Everyone, God bless. Take care. Have a safe week. Texas Silver out.